Hey everybody, thanks for coming in, joining us again for another episode of Breakpoint Now. I'd love to have you guys here. I'm your host, Jesse Leon, uh, talent agent here at Breakpoint Now, Breakpoint Booking. We're finally seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Finally, I think some live shows are going to be happening, from what we hear, and so we're so grateful for that. And today we've got a super special guest today, super talented, multi-talented. She's a music artist, an actress, TV personality, writer, producer. Let's welcome in Kelda Williams, aka Keldamuzik, aka Diva. Let's bring her in.
Hey, what's going on?
Kelda, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Such a pleasure to have such a multi-talented person on this stream. I know you've done so many things as far as, like I said, I just said it, music artist, actress, TV personality, producer,
Yes.
talent agent, or talent manager.
Yeah, I like
Uh,
to think of myself, yeah, entertainment manager here and there.
yeah. I know you have your hands on a lot of different stuff. Can you kind of explain a little bit of stuff that you've been a part of?
Yeah. So I'm a hip hop artist and, like you said, actress and TV personality. I do pretty much like everything to expand my brand. And lately, I've been working with the Loonies. And as a matter of fact, me and my business partner, we worked with you guys to book the Loonies
Right.
in Oregon. I think it was 2019.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just as an entertainer, I felt like I had to expand my brand into different areas of the entertainment industry because the music industry is just overpopulated right now with so many artists. And
hmm
um, it's like you can only do so much as an artist, right? And
Right.
competing with other artists, no matter how good your music is, if you don't have a good strategic plan in place, a good marketing team, whatever, you have to look at other options to promote your music. And I had a TV show called Diva Talk Tonight that was airing locally here in the Bay Area. And now I'm producing films, I'm starring in films, and I'm even coming out with my very own podcast called Chillin' with Keldamuzik, and hope to have
Yeah.
Breaking Point on there as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely. And this show actually would be great for you guys because I'll be talking to people who specifically work behind the scenes in the industry and, talk to you guys about what you're doing, your past and what you guys plan to do in the future. So, again, yeah, I'm just doing it all: music, TV, film. Uh, I'll be re-releasing a couple of my albums April 24th, the Diva Deluxe edition. It's going to be three albums in one.
Nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Cool. Love it. Yeah. Like I said, you're from Oakland, right?
Originally San Jose, but I relocated to Oakland, and that's where Keldamuzik was born.
Oh, Kelda music. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, like I said, you've been in the entertainment business your whole life, pretty much, right? Since you were 5 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from your bio, it says that you've known you wanted to do that your whole life, right? Like you're some agencies and stuff like that where they're to place you in different areas and stuff like that. Explain that upbringing because that to me that's 5 years old. That's kind of wild.
Yeah. No, I started at 5. I was getting headshots done. I was enrolled in acting and modeling classes, and I was going on auditions. I was reading for different commercials, and gosh, like I was really one of those child actor kids that after school it's like, okay, got to go home and rehearse, and tomorrow's your audition. And I would get pulled out of school early to go to these auditions.
hmm
And at first I was kind of like, Mommy, I want to stay in school. I want to, hang out after class or after school, whatever, with friends. And my mom's like, you got to look at the bigger picture in life. Do you want to be a star? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, not telling you to put school to the side or anything, but
Yeah, yeah,
let me take you to this audition because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And of course, I didn't get the audition, or I didn't get the role. but it was still fun. The experience was still fun. Going on auditions, go sees, and just meeting a whole bunch of people that look like you. You're like, oh, this is what casting's all about. And then later in life, I started dabbling into music. I started writing, recording with different producers, and eventually I relocated to Oakland. And again, that's where the music artist, entertainer Keldamuzik was born. Kelda Williams was
Yeah.
born in San Jose, but Keldamuzik was born in Oakland.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we have to go to like one of those places, like Oakland or in LA or New York or some of those big hot spots and stuff like that. And so yeah, I think you made the right move there for
Yeah,
sure.
thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's just the home of, the very most talented people in the Bay Area. So I'm happy to relocate there.
Yeah, love it, love it. Okay, so you do have an entertainment company, correct?
Yes, it's called Diggs Media Group. And from there, I've been working with rap artist Kafani, and then also the Loonies as well. So you know, I look at it as, my background is communications and arts. So I look at it as, you could always be in front of the camera, but also working behind the
Hmm.
camera too. You could help out other artists that are in need of your assistance. So, I built a team, and we're also working with the other few up and coming artists as well. And, we handle everything from social media campaigns to website development, marketing, PR, just all that good stuff, everything that involves
Hmm.
in developing and promoting an artist.
Yeah. Well, you kind of do need that, like, um, you got to be able to delve into everything because if not, you know, like you said, in the music business, there's so many artists out there. You go on Spotify, there's like a million artists out there, and you have to be able to like be versatile, and make money different ways and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. I agree. Yeah. And that's why, for artists, it's great obviously to focus on the music, but you got to focus on everything else too. You got to put the business hat on. You have to start working with other brands and organizations, and, finding ways to promote your music that way. You can't just, record a track anymore and throw it up on Spotify or Apple and expect, a million streams by that night or tomorrow. You got to really work in this game, because this
mhm.
is the most hardest industry to get into out of,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, out of all
Yeah, yeah,
industries.
yeah.
So
Just doing this business just a few years, I'm still like, man, it's tough, and like I said,
hmm
there's so many artists out there, and now you see even more so artists getting into different type of stuff. You know what I mean? Production, even. You know what I mean? Or like you said, entertainment, social media. People are getting the digital media. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
just to get get your product out there. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And
Hmm.
I want to say that, to artists or whoever's listening, DJs are your best friend. The reason being is
Absolutely.
DJs wear several hats nowadays, right? They're not only spinning at clubs, but now they have their own radio station. Some of them work for Sirius, some of them work for major stations. They also have blog sites. They also, help distribute music on other music pools, playlists, other platforms. And so, as an independent artist, I look at it as, DJs are your best friends, because they're the ones who could break your records and really um, give you the input that you need
Right.
on your record, like which record's best to promote, where it's best to promote, finding your demographics. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much that goes into it, right? Like, I mean, you could be in Oakland and you're a local artist and people still won't know who you are sometimes. You know what I mean? You got to find the right people to promote you. And yeah, that's another thing that I've been learning as I go too. You just got to keep your brand out there, find the right people to talk to, like you said, the DJs are huge. DJs are
Yeah.
huge out there for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Because, a lot of artists, they don't know. You know what I mean? They think, okay, record a song and I'm going to submit it to a few people I know. But success isn't going to happen overnight, as we all know. And also, you need a budget, right? You can't really do much unless you have a budget, and you need a
Yeah.
reasonable budget, not just $5,000, $10,000. You need you need hundreds and thousands of dollars. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You
yeah,
need a lot of money to really make some noise in this industry, to create a
right.
buzz, to get the media to pay attention to you, to get the fans engaged. You know what I mean? And that's why for independent artists, it's best to try to build your own team. You know, find someone who's really savvy in marketing, business development, um, you know, lead generation, whatever, like just somebody who knows how to make calls, someone who knows how to send out emails, someone who knows how to talk on the phone, and someone who knows what they're talking about. So, you know, that's really just the best way to go right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I think we try to do at Breakpoint Booking is we have people that can do kind of like kind of every we got people that can kind of do a little bit all that stuff too, and I think that's what kind of makes us a little bit you know uh, appealing to independent artists, right? Because we can
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of do a little bit of all that and stuff like that. Like, so we work with the Loonies, and hopefully we can work with you, further on down the road. Uh, you
Yeah,
know, yeah, and we know we can finally get something going. We all during this pandemic, man, we're all chomping at the bit. We're just like, "Oh, I need some live music in my life. Man, it's
yeah.
been
Tell me
so
about it.
tough.
Yeah,
How do
like
you
they're
feel now?
trying
How
to.
have you been so far during this pandemic? How have you kind of gone through it and been able to like keep it going, keep your brain fresh?
Yeah, no. So when the pandemic started, things were a little bit slow. But then after a while, we discovered, hey, why don't you do virtual concerts for your fans? That's, you know, better than not doing anything at all. So I go to the studio maybe about once a month, and I put on a concert. I go live on all my social media platforms, and you know, we even recorded, and we just give fans something, you know, some kind of incentive, like, hey, Keldamuzik is still here, the brand is still here, we're not, you know, I'm not going anywhere. And also too, I've been running contests, giving away like cocktail ingredients and stuff like that during the holidays, and just really finding ways to stay in touch with my fans and let them know that, you know, the pandemic hasn't stopped anything. You know, it stopped me from performing live in public, but you know, I'm still able to do virtual shows, and you know, I got the podcast coming, and as you know, everyone is starting to turn to podcasts now to release content and to engage with their fans. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and things are slowly opening back up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you'll still be making the same money that you made last year, or that you're going to
Hmm.
gather all of, you know, your audience under one roof, because
Right.
now that you know, we're in a pandemic, people have to social distance. You know, when venues open, they're only, you know, letting maybe about 50 to 60 people inside. So,
Hmm.
you know, whereas before, you know, you're selling out a show with, you know, 200 people in there and you're getting like $15 a ticket. Now it's like, okay, only 50 people are in here and I'm only getting like $10 off of each ticket. Like, ouch.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 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 I
yeah,
think it's
yeah,
something that we just have to kind of like we'll work our way through it, and you got to do what you got to do. And like I said, with the podcast and stuff like that, people
yeah,
are like, I feel like most smart musicians are doing the same thing, right? You can't just sit back and not do anything.
yeah.
You have to do a podcast. You got to start doing those live streaming shows, and that's what we're trying to
Hmm.
help out too. We're trying to help out people with live streaming shows and stuff like that. Let's keep your name out there because
Yes.
there's like you said, there's so many artists that if you don't keep your name out there, you're gonna have trouble getting back into that spotlight because people forget about you.
Yeah.
There's all the smart musicians are doing those live streaming shows, and then you're not doing those. For you to come back and be like, oh yeah, I kind of remember you now. They kind of forget, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so you're
And
doing
even
you're doing a great job.
artists are selling merchandise now, also using their website as money makers.
Right.
So selling merchandise and just selling any kind of items to your fans too. You know, that's a pretty good way to keep your name out there too.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I've been a big fan of Twitch. I
Yeah.
go on there quite a bit and kind of just check out. It's kind of like it's like the way to like kind of keep up with like artists and stuff like that you can't go to a live show, right? So you can just tune in on Twitch and like listen to them and stuff like that. That's been one of my favorite things to do since the pandemic.
Yeah.
while I'm sitting here doing nothing, basically.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
People
but
are getting up on Twitch though. Like DJs are spinning live on Twitch. Like people, yeah, yeah. Twitch
hmm
is really good right now.
absolutely, yeah. But yeah, like I said, you gotta be creative with what you do because um, you got to make money somehow. You know, you got to make money
Mm-hmm.
somehow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get
Yeah.
into more of your entertainment savvy. You have your own channel on Roku and Apple TV, man. That's crazy. Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, so I did have that, but I'm on hiatus on that right now because I'm doing the podcast. But that was another promotional angle that I used. I created my own channel on those platforms as well as Apple Music, Android, and Amazon Fire. Actually, the content is still up there right now. It's under Keldamuzik Presents. But yeah, I just uploaded all the content that I ever had from YouTube and I made a channel out of it on those platforms. At the end of the day, these are all just platforms to distribute content. It's all about if you're investing time and money
Hmm
to attract an audience and to narrow down who your demographics are. Um, but yeah, on Roku, I was just up. I had music videos. I had footage of my TV show Diva Talk Tonight, concerts, me performing in Japan as well as the Caribbean. So I just use that as another promotional vehicle, and I plan on going back on those platforms later this year once I get the podcast up and running. But I highly recommend any artists or anyone behind the scenes definitely join those platforms because it's just another way to and it's another exclusive way to promote your content and get people as paying members, paying fans to subscribe to your channel and to engage in your content.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, um, how did you go about it? Tell the artist how can they do that.
Yeah, so I actually went through a company, and I obviously had a budget, and I had the content, I had the idea, and all they did was they just developed the channel. And there's two ways of developing the channel, I believe. There's one way where you just have a channel on Roku, and then there's another way where you're actually building inside Roku, and that really makes it your channel.
Hmm
So yeah, I Google search companies that provide Roku channels or that develop Roku channels, and I ran into this company in Florida, and they created my channel for me, and all I had to do was just go on the website and update my content. And that's the thing, you have to keep updating your content weekly if you want viewership and if you want to make money from advertisers, which is really important, advertisers and sponsors. So yeah, I'm not going to say it's easy to get on those platforms, but if you have content and you have good content, then when you get on those platforms, you'll be great. You'll make money,
Yeah,
you'll monetize, and you'll make a lot of more fans.
yeah, yeah. So you started recording your first album in '05, right? Is that when you
Yes.
released your first album? Now, how
Yeah.
was that? How was that like? Was it like mind blown? Like, oh my God, I'm recording my first album. Like, how was? Explain that process to me because that just seems so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So my first album was called Shut Up Listen, and I recorded that with Squad Music Group. My first single was Mr. Right, actually, and then the second single was Go Bad featuring San Quinn.
Hmm
So yeah, it was exciting recording my first album because I was picking my own beats and writing all of my material, and just in the booth you're just like, wow, like I'm at home, I feel like I'm doing something that I really love that I could do forever. um and never take that for granted, your first time in the booth, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was an experience, and me, my producer, and a couple of people from my marketing team, we would just lock ourselves in the room or in the studio like every night and just record, and that's when I released my first album, Shut Up Listen. And my first show was in Berkeley at the Juneteenth, and I performed on a flatbed truck. And I was so nervous. There was maybe about like 200 to 300 people in the crowd, and I was just so nervous.
And that was your first show ever?
That was my first show ever. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it was an experience. It was a fun experience.
That's a great story. On a flatbed truck of all places too.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, this is where I'll be performing. All right, but hey, there's a crowd here, so perform.
Hey, that's not bad. 200-300 people. I'm sure you're rocking out there.
Yes, I was.
And then okay, you have 4 albums to date?
Yeah, I have a total of 4 albums. Shut Up Listen, the Diva album, the Diva Project, and Diva TV, the album.
How did the name? I mean, I could kind of guess, but how did the name Diva come about? Like, where did that just pop up?
Yeah, I was kicking it with some friends one day, and there was a parade going on, and my friend's like, "Come on, you guys, let's go to the parade or whatever." And I was like, "I don't do parades." And then she was like, "You're such a diva." She was like, "Who says I don't do parades?" And I was like, "Me." I don't do parades. I don't like standing out in the hot sun and waiting for these floaties to come by. I was like, I don't do parades. And so from there, people just started calling me Diva. They were like, yeah, that's Diva. She doesn't do parades. She doesn't stand in line at the clubs or anything like that. And I was like, I'm feeling that. I like Diva. And so my whole brand is Diva. Like, you had Nicki Minaj that had Barbie. You have Beyonce with the Beehive. You got Megan Thee Stallion with Hot Girls. Well, you got Keldamuzik with Divas.
Love it. I'm glad you're able to make that your own thing, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. And so you've toured with Lloyd and Jacques. How is that? How does that experience? These are pretty big names in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how is that experience being on tour with them? Seeing a bunch of people in the stands. Like, can you kind of explain that?
Yeah. So let's see. I've been performing in the Caribbean for about 4 years, and I opened up, or I toured with Jacques, and we performed in Antigua at the Police Stadium, which is the biggest venue in Antigua. I mean, Antigua is a very small island. But yeah, that was their biggest stadium, and I opened up for Jacques, and it was amazing. It was exciting, and it was awesome meeting him. He was just giving me game on the industry and stuff like that, letting me know like what markets are popping right now. And it was just an amazing experience. And the fans in the Caribbean, they really appreciate you. You know what I mean? They love American hip hop music. And yes, when I performed in Japan, so that was after the Caribbean, and I got a call from this promotion company in Japan, in Tokyo, and they were like, "Hey, we're putting together a tour featuring R&B singer Lloyd, as well as Kid Ink, Young Chris at the time, and a few other cats." And I remember Kid Ink, I guess, I don't know, he pulled out or his people pulled out on the tour, but Lloyd was still headlining the tour. And we went to like every single place he performed at, or I should say, we went to every single place and performed at a couple beaches, did a couple radio interviews, and that all led up to the huge concert at the Zeppelin Theater in in Tokyo. And that was a huge theater. And actually, about 2 weeks before I performed there, Nicki Minaj had performed there. And a week after I left, Lady Gaga performed there. So, gosh, that was just such an amazing experience. And if it wasn't for this pandemic, I'd be over there right now.
Oh, yeah. We all have those stories for sure. Do you ever geek out? Like, you're like, oh my God, I'm touring with Lloyd, I'm touring with Jacques, like, do you ever kind of like, is it like mind blowing sometimes?
Yeah, it was funny. Like, I was more nervous and focusing on my show, because this was probably like the biggest audience I ever performed in front of. So like, I wasn't really thinking about the artist like that. But then when I thought about it, I was like, oh, I'm out here with Lloyd. Okay, this is what's up. You know what I mean? And his management team, they were all cool, whatever. Um, but when you're in that position, you look at yourself as one of them. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is me. I've always been told, like, don't act starstruck, be a star. You know what I mean? Like, but we all get starstruck when we meet our favorite celebrities, our idols, our influencers, people who inspire us. And I mean, to me, I love Lloyd's voice. It's one of my favorite male R&B singers. So, I mean, gosh, it was an honor to open up for him and be in Japan.
Right. Oh yeah, especially how international artists, you know. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah, yeah.
right, so let's get into your producer life. You produced an album called "Love the Original Way," and that was your first movie that you produced. Like, how was that like? That seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was my first short film. Uh, and it was starring me. I hired a writer and a director and a production team, and man, they just wrote my script for me, and they were like, "Okay, you start casting the characters." And so, since this was my first film and it was a short film, I casted my friends to be in the film, and it turned out really great. The film actually premiered at the Black Hollywood Film Festival about 3 or 4 years ago, and that was an amazing experience for me because I'm like standing in front of an audience with all these other well-known filmmakers. And, I'm not really a filmmaker. I'm just more dabbling into it just to see, how far I can go. And I'm standing up there doing a Q&A, for all these students that are like, yeah, so, how'd you make this film? And, what inspired you to create it? And I'm standing up there with filmmakers who are spending like millions of dollars on their first film, that are taking out student loans and using their grant money for films. And I'm just like, I'm just some artist up here just trying to wiggle into the film industry now. And people, they love the film. They really like the film. And the film festival itself, they were happy to accept my film because they were like, hey, we want we want, I guess, we want films that have a different appeal to them, that are going in a different direction. We don't want the same Black films that are focusing on, gangs and drugs and, prostitution and stuff. We want to see a Black film that has something else to it. And mine was about love and romance, but it was more of a comedy, so a rom-com. Um, and yeah, people liked it, and it was an amazing experience.
That's great. Yeah. Like I said, it's always cool. Like I was reading your bio and researching you, and I was like, oh man, this girl really got it all together. She's got everything. You dabble in a little bit of everything, so
Hmm.
it's refreshing to kind of see that, you know. And like you said, we were talking about before beginning this interview that you got to be able to work your way into every little thing that you can, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So
especially today. Like I said, the industry's so overpopulated, and you know that as well from booking artists. I'm sure you get a lot of managers coming at you guys saying, "Hey, we represent so and so who's probably well known, but it's like you guys can only do so much." You know what I mean? And so for an artist like that, you just have to figure out ways to open the door for yourselves, or to reopen the door for yourself if you're, an artist that released a hit single years ago, but now you're trying to bounce back. You know what I mean? Like with Kafani, we're trying to work on a documentary for him to show his past. When he was hot during the hyphy movement up till the time where he got shot, and when he is incarcerated. We want to put that out to the fans, and that was an idea that him and I both came up with together, because it's like, it's all about content right now. Giving your fans good content, engaging with your fans, giving your fans something that they can hang on to. So yeah.
yeah, and it's real, it's real. It's actually happened, and I think people now they enjoy hearing about what actually happened to them, not this fake. I feel like in the early 2000s, people were like kind of had this facade, like I'm this person, I'm this successful, and now I think people like more of that real stuff, the real story of where they came
Yeah.
from.
Yeah,
So
and it's funny too. Like, I mean, just in the entertainment industry overall, Yes, people like reality. That's why reality shows exist, right? But now you have a lot of entertainers coming out saying they've been molested, they've had depression, um, they were addicts. Uh, you just have people coming out with real situations now because you have to relate to your audience. You have women coming out saying how many abortions they've had. You have some people coming out talking about which politicians they voted for. So that's the thing. You have to be realistic with your audience, or else if people can't relate to you, it's like, yeah, you're just another pop star fabricated by the
Yeah.
label. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, social
So
media nowadays, everyone knows everything about everybody. So, they'll find out one way or the other. It's best to be realistic and come out and tell your story, or they're gonna find out anyway.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
they're gonna be labeled as like, oh, they're trying to be someone they're not, and this and that. So, yeah, that's exactly what I always say. Like, you just be real with your audience, and they'll relate to you more.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. Exactly. And that's, and like you said, social media obviously is the way to do it. And that's why you got to put up pictures like, hey, I was feeding the baby today. I was cooking today. I, watered my garden today. I was on vacation. Stuff that people can relate to. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. You got to be original and you got to be authentic. And you have to talk to your audience.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you also manage some artists. You named a couple. Uh, Being an agent, it's kind of similar, right? Like, it's a little bit similar. Like, how do you go through that, and how do you use your past uh, experiences to like kind of go through that? Because I know artists can be tough to work with. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? How do you use your past experiences to like kind of get through that?
Well, it's easy because being an artist myself, it's just you put yourself in their shoes, and you're like, okay, well, what do I want? What do I want right now as an artist trying to bounce back? What do I want right now as a new artist? And I come up with out of box ideas. That's why I created a talk show. That's why I recommended to Kafani, let's do a documentary. Um, you know, it's not a difficult thing at all when you're an artist yourself because you just know what they want. Everybody wants fame. Everybody wants to, you know, get high streams on Spotify and Apple. But my best advice to artists is, make sure you have a budget, make sure you're always posting content, posting good content, and network and support other artists. Start posting other content of other artists on your social media. You know what I mean? And tag them because now you're gonna get their fan base that's looking at you. Like, oh, okay,
Absolutely,
cool. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So, yeah, it's just you got to come up with different strategic marketing plans. And I don't want to drop any names, but I see some industry plans right now in the industry, and you could tell it's their people behind them that are coming up with these crazy ideas to put these artists out. Um, and yeah, I don't want to name drop, but yeah, I've witnessed some of that, and I'm like, okay, so really, it's just you just got to come up with an idea to capture people's attention, and from there, it's like, okay, well, who is this? Okay, they make music. Okay, they make films. They do this and that. Okay, I'm feeling this person just based off a rumor report or something they
Right.
did wrong or something they did right, whatever. You're creating a buzz for yourself, whatever you're doing. And from there, that's your platform to start executing your plan.
Absolutely. And social media is such a big, it's kind of like it's like another job though,
It
to
is.
put
Yeah.
content out and like, man, I said work with artists and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, you need to get your social media game up because it's not good, right? Like, it's not as good as it should be right now,
That's
and
right.
that's
That's
what I
right.
tell them. Yeah, that's what I tell them. Like, it's another job. You got to do it. You got to post content all the time. If you're going to go live streaming, you got to post that about 20 times. You got to go on your
Yeah.
Facebook and your Twitter and your Instagram and you got to do it, and it's
Yeah.
no way around it. You got to do it. It's part of being an artist nowadays. Back in the day when it was, when social media wasn't so prevalent, it was kind of easier, you didn't have to have that job, but now it's a whole other job that you have to do. So
It is, and you know, and now artists are starting to hire people to manage their social media for them. Just be careful, you know, who you pick, and know what content you want to represent yourself is put out there correctly, and you know, don't do the bot thing, right?
oh
Don't
no no no
follow bots
yeah,
in
don't
hopes of
bots.
them following you
No no
back.
no no
Like,
no yeah.
no.
Yeah, we've had some experiences with the bots, and it's like, no, let's stay
Right.
away from that. Yeah, let's stay away from that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man. All right. Last question, I guess. Who are some of your like influences, whether it be musically or artistically? Who are some people that you kind of model yourself after?
Yeah, well, definitely music. It would be the Brat, Left Eye. Um,
Hmm.
gosh, there's just so many artists. You know, I love Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson is my favorite. Um, E40, Eminem, Tupac. Uh, gosh, yeah, musically, that's who influences me, and just in general, you know, Michelle Obama. You know what I mean? Very, very powerful woman. Um, Also, too, gosh, who else was I thinking about? And my grandmother. She is very inspirational to me. She taught me how to be a businesswoman. That's why I'm a hustler. You know what I mean? That's why
Hmm.
I'm doing music, TV, film, voiceovers, even. And as a matter of fact, a film that I was in called First Date premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in January
Wow,
at the Fort Mason Theater in San Francisco. So now I'm a part of the Sundance Film Festival family.
that's crazy. Yeah, Sundance is one of those like top of the top, film festivals
Yeah,
for sure. That's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So when I got the call, like, hey, did you want to come to the premiere of the film that you're in? I said, hell yeah. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And it was a drive through at Fort Mason Theater. So you can oversee like the entire Bay Area, the Golden Gate Bridge. And it was just a big, you know, big white screen, like damn near on the water. You know what I mean? It was an amazing experience. And, you know, to be a part of the film that's involved in Sundance now, it's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. All those people you said as your influence too, like, I'm a child of the '90s, so man, all those people you said, the Brad, Left Eye, Whitney, Mariah, oh man, like had all their or well, my sister had all their albums, and I listened to all
Yeah.
that stuff and stuff like that, and I hear them on the radio nowadays, and I'm like, this is my jam, and
Yeah.
I guess I still listen to old stuff. Like I listen to some new stuff, but some of that older stuff, man, I still can't get away from it. I just love
Yeah.
I
Oh
just love
man.
vibing to all that stuff. And being in
Yeah. No, most.
LA, being in LA, there's all kinds of all those stations are just all the time. We have like 10 radio stations that are in the '90s stuff. So.
That's why I love LA. Like every time I come there, you guys are always playing some new shit. You know what I mean? And you guys have so many stations there. Everybody's playing, you know, either throwback or or new shit. You know what I mean? Like that's
Hmm.
like every time I go to LA, I look forward to listening to the radio stations. K Day.
Radio's radio's
Um,
good out here. Yeah, radio's good out here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It reminds me of back in the day a little bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
cool. Well, you know what? It was such a pleasure having you. I loved hearing your story and when I was doing my research on you before this interview, I was just like, man, this girl's got it going on. Oh, hold on real quick. I got your links up here. Get your scroll on right here.
Hey, there we go.
Keldamuzik, keldamuzik.com, Facebook, at Keldamuzik, Twitter, Keldamuzik. Basically everything on Keldamuzik. Go follow her everywhere. She's so amazing. Uh,
Thank you.
it was such a pleasure interviewing you and kind of hearing your story. And I hope this is the first of many times we can work together. I know that we'll probably do some work in the future. But
Yeah.
it
No,
was
of
such a
course.
pleasure having you. The lovely Kelda Williams, aka Kelda Music, aka Diva. Make sure you go follow all those links. Go give her a follow. We gotta help each other out in this
Awesome.
pandemic time. Yeah. Well, thank
Yes,
you.
we
I appreciate you being here. Any last words?
You know what? Just want to tell everyone, stay safe, and keep your family safe, keep your friends safe, relatives safe. Always mask up, and if anything, stay home. Just because they say there's places opening back up and everyone's doing this and that now doesn't mean you need to follow it. Stay home until we can officially go out. Other than that, everyone, I love you all, love all the divas, and Jesse, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. The pleasure is all mine. Seriously, all mine.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later. All right.
Okay, bye.
Peace. Well, thank you so much, guys. Another episode of Breakpoint Now in the books. Once again, I'm Jesse Leone. You want to go follow us, Breakpoint Booking, breakpointbooking.com, at Facebook at Breakpoint Booking, IG at Breakpoint BKNG, Twitter, Breakpoint BKNG, YouTube, Breakpoint Booking. We got a lot of content out there. Go check us out. We're going to do more of these interviews, probably another 10, 20 interviews this season. So, yeah, go check us out. If you want to check out our official sponsors, artistawards.com, gettheplugs.com, another great foundation, Hunger Aid, hunger/aid.org, doing a lot of good stuff for the music community. Please go check them out. Show love to our sponsors too. Also, if you want to go check me out, um, you can find me on IG at jesse.breakpoint.booking. And then on Twitch, I have a channel out there at twitch.tv/the Leon Lounge. But anyway, thank you guys for come kicking it with us again. Like I said, we're going to bring you more content. And so please, please come back and check us out. We're going to have some other great artists, other players in the music game. So please come peep us out. And I guess that's it for Breakpoint Now. Signing out. This is Jesse Leon.